Millions of people are currently using weekly weight loss injections to turn off their hunger. But you don't necessarily need a prescription to flip that switch. Your body already has a built-in GLP-1 factory, and there are 7 natural ways to activate it. These activators include soluble fiber, lean protein, healthy fats, fermented foods, dark chocolate, meal sequencing, and circadian alignment. But if we naturally produce this appetite-suppressing hormone, why are we constantly battling hunger? Why is obesity such a widespread issue? The answer is an anatomical design flaw. The L cells responsible for producing GLP-1 are concentrated at the very end of our digestive tract, in the distal ileum and colon. This is the ilial brake, the body's signal to dial down the appetite. But the modern diet is composed primarily of highly processed sugars and white flours. These are broken down and absorbed entirely at the beginning of the small intestine. The calories never actually reach the L cells at the bottom, so the satiety signal is never sent. We have essentially starved our ancient satiety circuit for decades. By the time we feel full, we've often consumed far more than we intended, making pharmaceutical injections look like the only way to re-engage the system. Restoring that circuit requires forcing calories further down the gut, which is why a social media trend called Fibermaxing has gained such momentum. It's an attempt to solve this biological mismatch by prioritizing the one nutrient modern diets lack most. Insoluble fiber acts as a physical shield. Tough plant cell walls form an impenetrable barrier that digestive enzymes struggle to breach, effectively trapping calories inside and protecting them as they move through the stomach. When soluble fiber finally reaches the colon, gut bacteria ferment it into short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. This byproduct is a direct trigger that tells the L cells to release a wave of natural GLP-1. We can strengthen this journey by incorporating lean proteins and healthy fats as our second and third activators. These macronutrients physically delay gastric emptying. Instead of a rapid dump of energy that gets absorbed early, they keep food in the stomach longer, ensuring a slow and sustained release toward the lower gut. Taken together, fiber, protein, and fat function as a biological delivery system. Their primary job isn't just to provide energy, but to transport nutrients to the ilial brake. Transporting the food is only step 1. You also need the right microbiome ecology to process it, which is where fermented foods and dark chocolate come in. Probiotics in fermented foods build the specific colonies needed for breaking down those plant walls, while the flavonols in 70% dark chocolate help maintain the activity of the GLP-1 the body produces. The 6th activator shifts from what you eat to the order in which you eat it, a practice known as meal sequencing. Sequencing your meal, eating vegetables and protein before your carbohydrates, blunts your glucose response. It replaces a volatile blood sugar spike with a smooth, manageable curve, allowing for a more gradual absorption rate. However, even a perfectly sequenced meal is subject to the body's internal clock. If your timing is off, the satiety signal fails. This is why circadian alignment, our 7th activator, is so vital. GLP-1 secretion follows a daily rhythm, peaking during daylight hours. High cortisol from chronic stress or a lack of sleep actively disrupts this rhythm, making it nearly impossible for your brain to receive the signal that you are actually full. Coordinating this system means looking past individual superfoods. It requires aligning your gut ecology with your behavioral timing to keep the circuit running. Because this is a biological system, you cannot force it with extreme trends. Moving from 15 grams of fiber to 50 overnight won't double your GLP-1. It will likely just cause significant gastrointestinal pain. Higher fiber intake requires a proportional increase in water to keep material moving. For those with underlying conditions like IBS or Crohn's, forcing these changes can lead to severe complications, including bowel obstructions. The safest approach is to add just a few grams of fiber each week. This gives your microbiome the time it needs to build the necessary bacterial colonies to handle the new workload. This approach moves us away from calorie-obsessed restriction and toward a strategy that prioritizes the metabolic work our food does. Humans haven't collectively lost their willpower. We have simply removed the functional triggers from our food. By eating in a way that respects our anatomy, we can re-engage the same chemical reactions pharmaceutical companies charge billions to replicate.